If you were to take a wild guess on Tesla's Q4 deliveries and earnings report, what would your prediction be for the automaker? Think about all of the other interesting things that Tesla's been able to pull off in this quarter. Can we expect it to be another record-breaking one? Join us as we find the answers to these critical questions.
For the next year and a half, then it starts to become profitable. But that is the near-term pain for long-term gain that they need to do in what continues to be this green tidal wave.
You know, to John's point when he's saying people just want a Tesla, I wonder how much that's people wanting to ride Elon Musk's wave, and how much that was really the feeling a number of years ago, how much some of the recent high-profile discussion around Elon Musk with X, with his colorful interview and commentary toward advertisers, does that draw people in or push them away?
I think there's still a question there, because to some it emboldens them. In terms of Musk, what he represents, he's the anti. That's I affiliate with the Tesla. But then on the other hand, you alienate. And the problem for I think Tesla investors, when you sell consumer products to the masses, you don't want controversy. But again, Musk is Musk, goes to the beat of a different drum, and you see, and that's we saw that maybe overshadow a bit in terms of what happened at the New York Times event, the Cybertruck unveiling. That's 4 years in the making. But at the end of the day, Musk will continue to, I think, innovate, and especially when it comes to Cybertruck, a historical moment.
What did you think about what happened this week?
I think it's one where it's the last thing you want to see as a Tesla bull, to see something like that come and ultimately overshadow what was going to be Cybertruck. But as we all know, Musk is Musk. And it goes back to what we've talked about a lot in the show. When he bought Twitter, the $44 billion mistake, in my opinion, which now, let's say X is worth $5 to $8 billion. This is always the worry. It just adds that tornado factor, because with Musk, if you give him a mic, you never know what's going to happen.
Sure.
Imagine a world where electric vehicles are not only affordable, but superior to their gas-guzzling counterparts, where clean energy is abundant, accessible, and reliable, and a world where innovation and stability go hand in hand. Of course, this does sound a bit too good to be true, but definitely not for Tesla. Tesla has revolutionized the automotive industry, and we think that its Q4 is going to be mind-blowing. Today, we're going to take a look at how Tesla will achieve record-breaking sales, profits, and deliveries in Q4, despite the challenges of the pandemic, the chip shortage, and fierce competition. And we'll explore what lies ahead for Tesla and why it is poised to dominate the future of mobility, energy, and technology. Buckle up and get ready for a ride that will change the way you see the world.
We're joined now by Stephen Gengaro, Stifel Managing Director. So, Stephen, thank you so much for joining us. Maybe just start there with the bigger picture, Stephen, because, you look at least in North America, there's these signs that maybe consumer demand for EVs waning a bit. We hear, you see these companies, Stephen, they're cutting prices, they're pushing back these $1 billion in EV-related investments. I'd just be interested to get your take, at least here in North America again, the U.S. particularly. How do you see the EV market right now?
Yeah, thanks for having me. So, as you mentioned, adoption of EVs in China and Europe is north of 25%. Last year, the U.S. sold about 7.6% of passenger vehicles were electric, and clearly there are some short-term headwinds, right? So even if you take out, the interest rate concerns and the expense that creates for the consumer, the two biggest items on the EV side, right? It's vehicle costs. That's one, right? And that's tied into interest rates, but just clearly vehicle costs are higher. And then second is range anxiety / charging infrastructure awareness. So those are clearly the biggest headwinds. We believe, on the one hand, an increase in model availability from both startup EV manufacturers and legacy OEMs will help. You'll start to see the technology that was designed for some of the high-end vehicles filter down into vehicles that are at price points that more Americans can afford. And then second, on the charging side, the government is just starting a plan to spend about $7.5 billion on the NEVI funding, the National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure funding, which should help on the charging front, right? This is an evolution. This isn't going to happen overnight, and clearly, you've seen some short-term headwinds, but there are several factors that are popping up over the next couple of years, which I think start to ease the road for EV adoption.
And just to drill down on one issue in particular, Steve, I'm just interested to get your take on, interest rates, because I remember Elon Musk on that last Tesla call, he called out higher rates, talked about how specifically that was a challenge for his business. So as you look ahead, and look at the interest rate environment, what does that mean for EVs in 24 in terms of just pricing, sales?
Yeah, it's a problem, but I actually just bought a car, right? You start looking at 7-8% rates instead of zero a couple of years back. It is a big problem. But so there's a couple of things, right? One is clearly prices have come under pressure a bit, right? You've seen, and you mentioned the Tesla's approach to that, right? The second is, there is $7,500 of federal government incentives in tax credits that are coming back to the consumer. That helps, and there's obviously some price points involved in who's eligible, but that helps on the cost side. And then third, and this does tie into overall, vehicle prices, that is going to help as you start to see more moderately priced vehicles available. I mean, it's interesting just from personal experience. I mean, just going down to the local Ford dealership as an example, a year ago they were selling the Mach-E's over list, and then they were selling them out list a couple months back, and now they're calling consumers trying to discount them and get them in the market. So it is a problem in the high interest rate environment, and that's clearly why we've seen a lot of negative sentiment recently around EV sales. But I think the pricing ultimately is what's going to drive sales going forward, and then obviously we'll watch what interest rates do next year.
Tesla is looking to meet a goal of delivering 1.8 million vehicles in 2023. In Q3, it was reported that the automaker planned to significantly increase its global output of Model Y and 3s in the fourth quarter as well as in 2023. And Tesla's new factories in Texas and Germany are said to be ramping up the production. More specifically, Tesla is planning to produce nearly 495,000 units of Model Y and 3 vehicles in the fourth quarter of this year. And now both models are its two best-selling vehicles, accounting for 95% of the automaker's total output. Hey guys, welcome back to Tesla Tomorrow. According to Tesla's production plans, its vehicle output is expected to increase by more than 50%, about 10 times the increase of the global car market. Tesla itself estimated that the combined output of Model Y and 3s is going to reach 1.59 million units in the first 3 quarters of 2023. If that goal is achieved, then Tesla's sales of EVs throughout 2023 will likely overtake 2.1 million units. It is worth mentioning that if Tesla succeeds in selling 2.1 million units of EVs in 2023, its sales will surpass that of Volkswagen's Audi brand, and be close to that of BMW, which sold 2.5 million units of cars in 2021. Imagine how big this could be for Tesla. This achievement could push the automaker further into the limelight. Before we carry on though, if you like this type of content, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to keep up to date on everything going on with Tesla. Tesla's got some interesting plans for the Chinese market. The automaker's vehicle insurance registrations in China have begun to pick up, putting Tesla as the best ever quarterly deliveries in the EV market, particularly as its targets are recording full-year delivery goals reached. According to recent data, Tesla insurance registrations in China totaled 17,600 in 1 week, up 5.4% from 16,700 the week prior. And interestingly, these numbers represent the 5th full week since Tesla began delivering its revamped Model 3 in China. So far in Q4, Tesla China insurance registrations are a rough gauge for vehicle deliveries, and they total 104,500 for the quarter, up more than 3% compared to the same point in Q3. The number of Chinese registrations through Q4 is also 10% higher than the same point in Q2 when Tesla delivered a record 156,676 vehicles in China. There are several factors that will make the Q4 numbers interesting. First up, the Cybertruck. Cybertruck made waves when it was unveiled back in 2019, and is still making waves now. Its futuristic design, robust capabilities, and integration of cutting-edge technology generated tremendous excitement among Tesla fans and investors. This vehicle is actually a pretty big unveiling, and it wasn't just a spectacle. It was a response to a growing demand for electric pickup trucks in the market. With its impressive specs and versatility, the Cybertruck aims to cater to a wide range of consumer needs, and this will be the biggest catalyst for its growth, which is why we think this vehicle will have a positive impact on Tesla's Q4 numbers. Likewise, FSD is also gradually becoming a big thing, and it will change Tesla's story forever. As many know, connectivity has been a flagship feature of Tesla in the EV industry, and the automaker has been using this to collect data from its fleet and improve features like autopilot. The interesting thing is that Tesla's got proprietary data, meaning no one else can use it, and that is really fascinating. Tesla's fleet of vehicles is equipped with a wide array of vast advanced sensors, including LiDAR, radar, and cameras forming the eyes, ears, and sensors of their autopilot driving system. This suite of sensors captures critical data, providing an accurate and real-time understanding of the environment. Experts have also said that a company like Tesla, which has obtained and is still obtaining enormous amounts of data from FSD, is in an avenged position because of the data that it has acquired from millions of cars on the road, driving billions of miles. With all that data collected, Tesla can improve its FSD capabilities. But that's not all. Tesla is also planning to bring this technology to China. FSD has been a topic of concern for various industries, and especially that for major competitors in China. In response to this, the car companies confirmed that the implementation of FSD in China is indeed underway. As one of the major players in intelligent driving tech, the FSD system is considered to be entering a countdown phase for implementation in China, and the benefits that this could have could potentially blow investor minds. Now that we talked about the latest updates, let's see what analysts are saying. Tesla analysts have revealed their expectations for the fourth quarter. Tesla has got high targets for 2023, and according to global equities research analyst Trip Chowdhury, the EV maker is on track for a global blockbuster fourth quarter. Already, Tesla's got plans to sell and produce about 1.8 million vehicles in 2023. However, to accomplish that, the automaker will need to finish the third quarter on a strong note and complete the fourth quarter with record numbers. Chowdhury also noted that it's expecting monstrous Q4 figures from Tesla, and he also reiterated an overweight rating and a $350 price target for the car company. Tesla's produced mediocre results for Q3, but at least it generated positive free cash flow. We think these numbers could be much better in Q4. No doubt these performance figures for Q4 do remain uncertain, and there is no guarantee that it's going to be another record-breaking quarter, and there are a lot of indicators and also bits of proof for a remarkable quarter. But what do you think though? Let us know down below, and if you want to know more about what Tesla's been up to over the last few days, go ahead and click on this next video on your screen. See you there.